Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have an updated version of my keto crispy taco shell recipe. Today I want to show you an even more simple way to make these keto taco shells so that you can have the ultimate texture with the ultimate crispy, crunchy flavor that you're looking for in your taco shells. I also want to share with you these really cool taco shell molds that make creating that taco shell shape so easy, and the molds can be used in your air fryer, in your oven, on your stovetop, your deep fryer, any way you want to make your taco shells. You can use these molds, and I'll put a link in the description to where you can purchase them. And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while we do all that, let's get cooking. In a large mixer bowl, combine 60 grams or around a half cup of coconut flour, 8 grams or around 1 tablespoon of xanthan gum, and if you want to, you can add some salt and dry seasonings of your choice to give your taco shells a little bit of flavor. I usually put around a half teaspoon of salt and about 1 tablespoon of some dry seasonings, usually garlic powder, onion powder, and some chili powder. Just anything you want if you want to add some extra flavor to your taco shell. Sift these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 118 milliliters or around a half cup of warm water. Make sure it's warm. This will help keep the dough soft so it's easy to form. Stir the warm water into the dry ingredients until all the dry ingredients are fully moistened and you have a smooth dough that has formed. Now at first this might seem like it's not coming together really well, but you just keep stirring, and if you need to, get your hands in there and kind of massage the water into the dry ingredients. It will eventually come together and you'll have a smooth dough. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the dough to the center of your bowl, then form the dough into a smooth ball. Massage the dough ball in your hands for about 1 minute. This will help any excess moisture to be absorbed into the coconut flour, and it'll also help the xanthan gum start taking its effect so that your ingredients will hold together well. After you've massaged the dough for a minute, roll the dough back into a smooth ball and place it back into your mixing bowl. Then allow the dough to sit uncovered at room temperature for about 10 minutes so that it can absorb any extra moisture. While the dough is sitting, preheat your air fryer to 400 degrees. If you don't have an air fryer, you can bake these in your oven. Just preheat your oven to 400 degrees. After the dough has sat for 10 minutes and has absorbed a little bit, divide the dough into 4 equal portions. Line a clean work surface or a tortilla press with parchment paper. Press or roll each dough portion out to a thin circle that's around 7 to 8 inches in diameter, or your desired thickness, however thick you want your taco shells to be. Once the tortillas have been rolled out, leave the parchment paper attached to the tortillas, then place a second piece of parchment paper on top of the tortillas. I usually like to trim down the parchment paper to where it's basically the shape of the tortilla. Carefully fold the tortilla around your taco shell mold. If you don't have a taco shell mold, I'll leave a link in the description to the ones that I have. These things are lifesavers when it comes to taco shells. You can air fry with them, bake with them, deep fry with them. They're great. You can make a mold out of foil. Basically, all you would do is take a piece of foil, roll it up to the width that you would want the opening of your taco shell to be, however wide you want your taco shell to be opened. Then you would just shape the tortilla around that rolled piece of foil. Or you can fold the tortilla and kind of sandwich it in between the cups of an upside down muffin tin. This will give you a oddly shaped taco shell, but it will still work. You'll still be able to have a nice crispy taco. Just again, make sure you keep the parchment paper attached. It makes it a lot easier to fold it around the mold, and it also prevents any indentions being in your shells from the shapes of the mold. If you are planning on baking these in an oven, then place the shaped taco shells onto a lined baking sheet. Otherwise, if you're just air frying them like I am, place the taco shells in a single layer in your air fryer drawer and air fry at 400 degrees for 4 to 6 minutes or until the taco shell is golden and beginning to become crispy. For me, 5 minutes was perfect. If you're baking these in the oven, then bake at 400 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes or until your taco shells are golden and crispy. After your taco shells have been cooked, if you're using an air fryer, leave the taco shells in the air fryer drawer. Crack open the drawer just a little bit, just enough to let a little bit of air in, and allow the taco shells to sit in the drawer for another 10 minutes so that the taco shells can continue firming up. If you've baked them, you want to do the same thing. Leave them in your oven, crack the door just a little bit, and let them sit in the oven for 10 minutes so that the shells can crisp up. Once the taco shells have crisped up, then remove them from your air fryer drawer or your oven. Let them sit on the molds for another 5 to 10 minutes or until they're cool. After they've cooled, carefully remove the taco shells from the molds. Then place them on a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before you use them. Now, the longer you let these taco shells sit at room temperature, the more crispy they're going to get. So you can eat them as soon as they've cooled. They will have some crisp to them. But if you want the most crispy texture, then allow them to sit on the wire rack overnight so that they can cool completely and get nice and crispy. Now, I will give you a heads up that these tortillas are not going to give you a huge crunch like you would get with a corn taco shell. Coconut flour absorbs more moisture, so it doesn't harden up the same way that a corn tortilla would do when you make a corn tortilla in a taco shell. But it still will give you a very nice, crispy, snappy texture. I don't know if you can hear this here, but listen and see if you can hear that little snappy, crispy texture when I'm breaking this up. You hear that? I'm not sure if you can hear that, but it's got a little bit of a snap to it. It's got that little crispy texture. So even though it doesn't have that massive crunch that you get with the corn taco shells, it still has a very nice, crispy, snappy texture to the outside of it. So you can fill your taco shell and eat it immediately. If you do have any leftovers, leave them uncovered at room temperature for up to 3 days. If you want to keep that ultimate crispy texture, you don't want to put these in an airtight container. Coconut flour baked goods, when you put them in an airtight container, they pretty much absorb any moisture. And so if you store these taco shells in an airtight container, they're most likely going to get soft. So then store them at room temperature, uncovered, for up to 3 or 4 days. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.